And welcome everyone to another episode of the Chairman's Wrestling Podcast. I am Steven Vincent, and I'm here to talk about Battleground and Monday Night Raw, the new era. And I can honestly say that Raw last night was probably one of the best I have watched in a very, very, very long time. It's almost as if the WWE is finally listening to their fans. But before we talk about Raw, let's talk about Battleground. And Battleground was a decent pay-per-view. But, what can I say? There was a few things I didn't really care for. But overall, though, lots of good matches. I was surprised. And I definitely say it was probably the best Battleground they've ever had out of the four, they had. But anyways, let's break down the matches real quick. And usually you have about 2 pre-show matches, but it turns out this Battleground only had 1 pre-show match. And it was just announced days before. And it's from the SmackDown brand. The Usos took on Breezango. And I was impressed. This was actually a decent match. Lots of, big moves by the Usos. Tried to use their high-risk ability, and Breezango, would try to take advantage every time. Great back-and-forth match, and believe it or not, Breezango pulled off the upset. This is huge for Breezango. This definitely makes them a legit threat in the potential tag division of SmackDown. And with SmackDown airing tonight for the first time, first time since the, brands have been separated, could we see a rematch tonight? Very well possible. Moving on to the Battleground card itself, it was Sasha Banks, and turnout the mystery partner was Bayley. Was not expecting that. I mean, I guess I was and I wasn't. I guess I figured with her not being drafted that she would not be in the conversation. I was thinking Nia Jax myself because she was on Raw. Since, Paige is on Raw as well, but they already did the Sasha Paige thing with Dana and Charlotte. But, hey, Bayley made her main roster debut. Granted, from what I've been hearing, it's a one-night thing right now. Bayley obviously has unfinished business in NXT with a rematch clause for the NXT Women's Championship against Asuka, with their match most likely taking place at TakeOver coming up right before SummerSlam. But we had a great match here with Sasha Bayley teaming up against Charlotte and Dana Brooke. And, 3 of the 4 horsewomen, minus Becky Lynch, who was on this later in the show. But the match was quick, and, it was a chance to showcase Bayley a little bit. But obviously the focus point here is Charlotte, the Women's Champion, and Sasha Banks. And once again, Sasha Banks proved that she was superior and got the win here. She got Charlotte to tap out to the bank statement, which opened a big door up for Raw, which we'll get to a little bit. But obviously the pick for me was Sasha and mystery partner, and sure enough, we got that match right as well. The next match on the card was the Wyatt Family against New Day. 3-on-3 tag match. Titles were on the line, and of course, this is Braun Strowman's last match with the Wyatts, since Bray and Eric Rowan are going to SmackDown and Braun is going to Raw. New Day, however, was not split up. They are still your WWE World Tag Team Champions. Xavier does it better than I do. But anyways, the match itself, nothing memorable. It was okay. But focus of the story was the mouthpieces of these groups, Xavier and Bray. Bray playing his psychological games with Xavier. And it was great to see in the end here, Xavier kind of, stepping up, and taking charge finally. But Bray, of course, took down Xavier, giving the Wyatt family the victory here. And unfortunately, since the Wyatt family, for the most part, is on SmackDown and New Day on Raw, this is pretty much going to be the end of this feud. I was kind of hoping to see a little more of this because I kind of enjoyed the little bit I got to see. It was something different, New Day being a huge comedy act versus a very psychological, serious Wyatt family. I'm interested to see where Bray goes tonight on SmackDown. We'll find out. As for New Day, we obviously will touch on them in a little bit. I also picked the Wyatts to win this match, so another victory for me. And then we had our first championship match of the night. Rusev versus Ryder, United States Championship match. And, the match wasn't bad. I was kind of surprised. I didn't really expect much of this match, I guess, but this was a good match. It wasn't bad. Rusev got to showcase a little bit of what he can do. Ryder got to showcase a little bit of what he could do. Ryder actually got fans convinced that there was a shot here where he had to win it. Hit off some big signature moves, but the broski elbow, or whatever the hell he calls it, got blocked, and that was pretty much it from there. Rusev took advantage, made Zack tap out in that nasty accolade. Rusev is still your United States Champion. Rusev is still keeping the title on Raw. Therefore, I picked that one right as well. Rusev, of course, had a little aftermath party with Ryder, and then disgustingly Mojo Rawley came out and made the save. Rusev obviously realized he had better things to do than deal with Mojo Rawley, the worst draft pick ever of all time. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that guy, as you will learn. But anyways, moving on. We had what many people out there will say match of the year. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, another chapter, supposedly the final chapter. And this was another classic match. And there were some big moves here. Both of these men definitely had a chance to win this match. And for me, what I think got this match so over was the emotion of Sami Zayn, the emotion of Kevin Owens. This was a personal match as personal's going to get. And this is definitely the match of the night. And the thing is with these two, it's like Sami Zayn's emotion in the end there. When he gave the first haluva kick to Owens in the corner, and he just looked at him, and he just basically felt like he had a weight lifted off his shoulders. But one haluva kick was not enough, and he went for the second one and nailed KO. And this was the nail in the coffin, so to speak. So Sami Zayn finally has gotten rid of Kevin Owens for now. I thought this match was going to end in a draw, personally, just for the fear fact I felt they would have had another match at SummerSlam with a big stipulation. And, we still could have that match at SummerSlam, even though they claimed Battleground was the final chapter. But we will see on that. Obviously, these two had their own agendas last night in different matches for Raw. But I'm happy to see Sami Zayn get this big win because he needed a big pay-per-view win. So it was nice to see. And then we had Natalya and Becky Lynch, the two alpha females of the SmackDown brand. And this match, I expected a little more, I guess, personally. The match was a little slow, a lot of rest holds. I mean, more than I probably would have liked. But I guess that's the kind of match you're going to get with Natalya, as a technical match. And obviously she played on the knee of Becky Lynch, and the climax was there with the sharpshooter, hoping Becky was going to escape. It turns out Becky got out the first time, but just, Natalya got her back in there again, and that was all she wrote. Natalya was your winner. I thought Becky was going to win this match. I figured Becky was the first woman selected for the SmackDown brand. I really felt she could have used this win, but at the same time, I feel like this feud isn't over between these two. I feel a lot of questions will be answered tonight on SmackDown regarding the women division, whether or not they're going to have their own championship. So hopefully there is, and hopefully Becky and Natalya get in their shot to really show us what they can do. Give us a huge match like they did on Raw between Charlotte and Sasha. More on that later. And then we had The Miz versus Darren Young for the Intercontinental Championship. And this was easily the worst match of the night. I felt, with the few weeks they got to build this match, it could have been good. They could have made Darren Young great again. Hell, it could have made The Miz great again. But all these two did was shit all over the Intercontinental title. The match ended up being more about the managers, Bob Backlund and Maurice, than the title itself. And it got really weird, and then there was a double countout, I think. I don't know what the hell happened. It was just so awkward. I'm happy these two are on separate brands, and this will not continue. And so, Miz is still your Intercontinental Champion, so he will take that back to SmackDown. And I don't know, The Miz, when he first won the Intercontinental title, having Maurice at his side, it was fun. But I think him taking that leave of absence to film that movie really killed his momentum. And ever since he came back, he just has nothing to offer. His reign has gone dull. It's gone on too long. I'm actually hoping somebody on SmackDown challenges him for it and beats him tonight. But we will see. Up next, we had the huge tag team match between John Cena, Enzo Cass against The Club. And of course, this is another faction that has been split via the draft, with AJ Styles going to SmackDown, The Club, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson going to Raw. This was an awesome match. Action all over the place. Really showcased what these 6 guys can do. And I mean, a lot of people that have watched wrestling know what John Cena can do in a big match. A lot of people know what AJ Styles can do. But, Enzo and Cass and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, they're just getting their feet wet in the WWE. And unless you followed NXT closely or followed the independents closely, you don't really know what the other guys can do. But this was a lot of fun. This is a great match. And the crazy thing was seeing Cena get Styles up there and giving the attitude adjustment from the top rope area. And I was really surprised that Styles took the pin personally. But at the same time, this is now saying Styles got the first one at Money in the Bank. Cena's got this one at Battleground. So, obviously, there's going to be a third match between these two, probably at SummerSlam. So, curious to see where Styles and Cena go next. Now, you figured maybe Enzo and Cass and The Club would have some unresolved issues, but obviously, things went a little differently on Raw. I will get more into that in a little bit. I also picked Cena and Enzo Cass to win that match, by the way. And finally, the main event, the match everyone's been waiting for. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, former Shield guys for the WWE Championship. Now, like I said before, I figured this would be a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania headlining match. It's for Battleground, but with the draft and with Ambrose going to SmackDown and Rollins and Reigns going to Raw, I guess this was the best time of any to get this match done. And it was a good match. It wasn't a great match. It wasn't like a 5-star match or anything like that, But it had its moments. It had its climax. Everybody obviously had their chance to win. There were some fun moments with Dean and Seth, of all people, teaming up on Roman, teasing the power bomb the Shield made famous, and the three of them used to do it to everybody and their brother. And it was, crazy how it ended. I mean, one moment you thought Roman was going to win, and one moment you thought Seth was going to win. The thing about this match was when Dean took Roman down with that dirty deeds, I thought for sure he was going to kick out. I thought there was more left to this match. And the pay-per-view did go over to 10 o'clock hour Central Time, which is not too often. So I was kind of expecting, a little more of a match. But that was kind of where it ended. So Dean ends up taking the WWE Championship to SmackDown, leaving Raw with nothing. And, it was kind of funny seeing Roman Reigns take the pin, considering he was built up as this guy, for the WWE. And with the whole wellness policy thing, he's been taking pins now. Took one to Rollins back up in the bank, and now he's taking one to Ambrose. So this must be the punishment that fits the crime, I guess, so to speak. So, needless to say, that was the battle. And, of course, I forgot to mention the Jericho, Orton, Lesnar. There was a lot of talking, and I kind of wasn't paying attention when that was going on, to be quite honest. But, needless to say, Orton, Lesnar, SummerSlam. Jericho took an RKO. Whatever. Moving on, we'll go back to last night. Monday Night Raw. the first Raw of the brand split. Well, I guess not the first ever, but recent brand split. And led by Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley. And, new set, new theme, new look. It's great. It's clean. It's awesome. And I'm excited. Yep, as a wrestling fan, I was excited last night to see what direction the WWE was going to take the Raw and the SmackDown brand. And after I watched Raw last night, I was just wanting more. And I haven't felt that way about WWE in a long time. I mean, the product was very stale. Every now and then something would get me excited, but it would go back to its same old shit tick, Last night's Raw was amazing. And I'm going to talk about it right now here. And, they called all the wrestlers to the stage. And obviously, Stephanie called Roman a loser for getting pinned by Ambrose. So Raw doesn't have the World Championship. So Mick and Stephanie created the Universal Championship, which is going to be crowned at SummerSlam. They made 2 matches last night, 2 fatal 4-way matches, with the winners of those matches in the main event, and then the winner will face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. And some people are probably wondering why Seth Rollins getting the special treatment, but here's the thing. Seth Rollins, for one, is amazing. Number 2, he's basically Stephanie's favorite. He's Raw's number 1 overall pick, and technically number 1 overall in the WWE in general. So obviously, he's very, very highly touted, very up there. He can make anybody look good in the ring. I mean, he's all around amazing. So, of course, he's going to get the bye. And technically, he was in that triple threat match, and he never got pinned, so some can say he still, has a shot. But, of course, he also lost 2 chances against Ambrose last week. But, either or, Rollins is getting the bye. So, the first match of the night, we're going to kick in. It's going to be Kevin Owens, Cesaro, Rusev, and believe it or not, Finn Balor. Finn Balor from NXT got the call, got drafted super early, and he is on the Raw brand. He made his debut, and this match was amazing. This match went on for a very long time, through 2 commercial breaks. I mean, it was all about the wrestling last night for this match, and you had 4 guys that could go. 4 guys that legitimately had a chance to win this match. I mean, you had Kevin Owens, who definitely, in my opinion, is on the cusp of being the guy. Definitely deserves a World Championship run, I think, at this point. He's proven himself. He can cut the promos. He can do it in the ring. He's all-around amazing talent. I personally wish he would have won Money in the Bank last month. But either or, Owens is definitely worthy. Cesaro is definitely worthy as well. And I think he's a little frustrated maybe after last week, but the guy can go. The guy can go with anybody. I mean, the guy is super strong. This is definitely one of my favorites. Rusev, of course, is the current United States champion. I definitely didn't think he would win this match just for the sheer fact he already had a championship. But Rusev definitely is a worthy opponent. And when you have 8 guys, you got to definitely have a champion like Rusev in there. And, of course, Finn Balor. Those that follow NXT know what Finn Balor can do. I mean, he had the NXT championship for a super long time. And he was just an amazing talent as well. And it was a great match. I mean, anybody could have won. But, I thought Kevin Owens was going to win. There was a little part of me inside that was hoping Owens and Zayn were both going to win their respective matches and fight in the main event again. But, I don't know if you'd call it an upset or what you would call it. But Finn Balor won this match, and I was kind of like, holy cow, this is pretty cool, actually. You figured Finn Balor's up here, but he's an NXT guy, and he's new, and we're not going to put him in the main event, with the new title and the new brand. But you know what? It happened. He beat 3 very established guys, and awesome for Finn Balor. So Finn Balor won. So we're waiting on the next match a little bit later. But, in between, we also had another NXT superstar make her debut last night on Raw. and it was Nia Jax. Nia Jax was a great talent in NXT. This was a squash match. I don't even know who this girl was. She wrestled. I don't remember her being drafted, but I guess from what I've been hearing, they're going to start utilizing squash matches, which is basically like a local enhancement talent is going to come in there, get their butt kicked, and be done a fit. And that's actually probably not a bad idea, because I would rather see someone I'm not going to see ever again or remember get squashed opposed to a mid-card guy, because that's been the trend the last so many years, devaluing them more than we need to. You don't need to devalue your mid-card superstars in an enhancement role. That's what these local talents are for. So kudos to WWE for using this girl that we'll probably never see again instead of like Summer Rae or Alicia Fox to get Nia Jax over. Which she'll probably squash down at some point, but right now let's use the random people that we're never going to talk about again. So it's curious to see where Nia Jax goes from here. And the next match was the other Fatal 4-Way. Finn Balor was going to take on the winner of Chris Jericho, Sheamus, Sami Zayn, and Roman Reigns. Now, definitely the talent compared to the first match, it's different. I mean, you had 4 huge guys, in the first match. And this one, you have a lot of veterans. Jericho and Sheamus obviously have wrestled for quite a long time, especially Jericho. Both of these guys are former world champions. So they definitely know how to get the job done. Especially Sheamus, coming off a world championship run not too long ago. Disappointing one, but he was the champion. Sami Zayn's obviously, like Kevin Owens, another guy that's on the cusp of breaking out, breaking to the ceiling of the main event guys and becoming a world champion. And then, of course, there's the Roman Reigns factor, which, you knew he was going to win this match. I wanted Sami Zayn to face Finn Balor. I thought Zayn and Balor would have been a phenomenal match. I mean, a main event worthy of all main events for a, new era Raw. I mean, I don't know if Zayn and Balor fought in NXT. I can't remember if they did. I probably should have looked this up. But if they didn't, then I felt we definitely should have had that match last night on Raw. But, instead, Roman Reigns got the win. So now we have Finn Balor and Roman Reigns set for the main event tonight. Winners going to SummerSlam to take on Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. So, let that sink in. Finn Balor, Roman Reigns. And I was, kind of dreading that thought because I was so all about Sami Zayn facing Finn Balor. But, we still got a whole night of action to go before we get to that main event. So, next up we had New Day. They don't look very good in this photo here because, well, they came out and they celebrated their lengthiest tag team championship reign, hung out with Sonny Boy. Wasn't one of their best promos, per se, but I guess what happened was they did their thing, and then Anderson Gallows showed up and crashed the party and kind of made a statement. Made it known that they're hunting New Day's tag team titles. So I originally thought of something cooler happening is that obviously Anderson and Gallows have ties to Finn Balor back when he was in Japan, known as Prince Devitt of the Bullet Club. And I was thinking, how cool would it be if Anderson and Gallows, who obviously have a history of reigns from, hanging out with Styles, screwed over Reigns, and lo and behold, they helped Finn win the main event. But seeing them obviously come out here and take down New Day means Balor Club is probably not in the cards right now. So it looks like these two are hunting the tag team championships. And we probably won't know until SummerSlam, is my guess, is when these two are going to throw down for the gold. I will say that New Day's reign is definitely in jeopardy. And then we had the return of Neville in the ring, bearded and all, who took on Mr. Irrelevant Curtis Axel, who is still wearing the cargo shorts, and now that the Social Outcast is done, I believe, from the looks of it, probably should get rid of those cargo shorts. Anyways, Neville did his thing, beat Axel. Not really sure where Neville's going from here. I mean, Raw is the home of the Cruiserweight division, and Neville has the look of the Cruiserweight guy, so I don't know. Happy to see Neville's back, though. He's a great talent. I think he has more to offer than they're giving him, but obviously first match back, they're going to ease him back in, so hopefully there's big things in Neville's future. And then you had this freaking match. Yeah, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Women's Championship match. And with Mick Foley, on Raw, he's definitely going to push the women's division, and he rightfully should, because there are some talented women on this roster. They did a great job on Raw drafting. Charlotte's got the title, obviously. Banks is obviously the one that so many fans are behind and love. And this match was insane. I mean, the moonsault that Charlotte did off the top rope alone to the floor was incredible. I mean, these two, I've seen some great matches between the two in NXT, but man, I mean, this is probably one of the best women matches I've ever seen. I mean, I almost would have to watch this match again and then watch Bayley and Sasha from TakeOver last summer and kind of decide which one of these two was better, because holy shit, guys, that was a ride last night. I mean, this is what a title match should be, especially if it's televised. A long match, a grueling match, two rivals. I mean, this match, the Charlotte-Sasha feud has been built beautifully, and obviously it was just incredible. Sasha did her little, tribute to Eddie Guerrero in this match, getting the ref thinking Dana Brooke got involved and gave her the boot. And when this match was obviously booked, the start of the night, I was thinking Sasha will probably have her beat, and then Dana's going to get involved. But you know what happened? Dana got ejected. So this made it one-on-one. And that is what everybody facing Charlotte wants, one-on-one. No Ric Flair like she had during the reign started. No Dana Brooke. No other random crap. Just straight Charlotte, straight Sasha, straight boss, straight awesome. Because this match ended with a new WWE Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. It happened. It finally happened. I'm a huge Sasha Banks fan, and this is a moment a lot of people have been waiting for, her to get the title. It's finally here. She's finally holding that title. I don't know for how long. Charlotte's obviously got a rematch clause, which my guess is probably not going to happen until SummerSlam, but Charlotte is going to be stalking Sasha to get that title back. So we got some good stuff going. But there's also some other women on the Raw roster, like Nia Jax. When she got drafted, claimed she had a bounty on Charlotte. Obviously, that's going to turn to Sasha now. Don't forget about Paige and all the other women on the Raw roster. And personally, I don't know what's going to happen on SmackDown. So if they don't have a title for the women, obviously Becky, Natalya, and all the others are going to find a way to maybe get a shot. So Sasha Banks, congratulations, but you're going to have eyes on the back of your head because every woman is going to be after you. And then we had Braun Strowman. Remember him? Former Wyatt family member. New music, new look. Facing this guy with an offspring-looking tattoo on his arm. It's kind of funny how this guy has a match on Raw, but so many of the other established talents that have been around a while didn't get even on the show. But you know what? Like I said before, with Nia Jax, this is good. Braun Strowman squashing some kid, making himself look huge, because that's pretty much what he is. He's a big man. Obviously, he's going to do the squashing thing for a while. Not really sure where Braun's going to end up when it's all said and done, but he's one man, and he's going to wreck everything in sight. And, we've been waiting all night for the other tag team of this established Raw brand, and we finally got Endzone and Cass just before the night comes to a close. Endzone and Cass come out, do their thing. Great on the mic. Love their promos. They're entertaining as hell. And then the Shining Stars came out, and I'm like, oh my god. These guys are finally here. And this match did not last very long. It was pretty quick. Enzo and Cass took care of them like nothing. So my question is, if New Day is probably going to be feuding with the club, where does that leave Endzone and Cass? Because obviously Endzone and Cass deserve a tag team championship run. But if it's looking like the New Day and the Club are going to feud, Endzone and Cass are kind of, where are they going to be? Where are they going to go? They going to be at the Shining Stars every night? Because that's going to get old quick. But be interesting to see. So I guess we'll hang tight for now and see where Endzone and Cass take us next week. And then finally, the coup de grace, the main event, Finn Balor, Roman Reigns. And this match, the match itself was okay. I mean, obviously Finn has to work with Roman Reigns, so there isn't much, he can do there. But, most of this match, I just had this bad vibe that Roman is going to win. We're going to have another Rollins-Reigns chapter at SummerSlam. That's pretty much the way I was thinking the second I kind of saw this go down. But then, an incredible thing happened. Finn Balor busted out the signature moves. He busted out the sling blade. He busted out that vicious dropkick in the corner. And then he hit the coup de grace. And then the pin. And Roman didn't kick out. Finn Balor pinned Roman Reigns for the 1-2-3. Advances to SummerSlam. You know what this means, everybody? Roman Reigns got pinned now for the third time in recent memory. And that man never gets pinned. Rollins, Ambrose, Balor have pinned him in the last month and a half. Okay? Not only that, though. SummerSlam. Universal Championship match. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. This is a freaking dream match. This is a match I've wanted to see for so long. And at SummerSlam, you are finally going to have it. Raw finally gets it. WWE finally gets it. We don't want another chapter in Rollins and Reigns. I think with that triple threat Shield thing, stay away from that for a while. Rollins, Balor, SummerSlam. I can't wait for SummerSlam. We got many weeks to wait now. But this match is going to be great. I can't wait for the build. The one thing I kind of wish they would have had for this main event, though, was Seth Rollins doing some commentary, because the night kind of felt a little absent without Rollins, really. The only time we've seen him was in this beginning of the show on the stage. So, a little disappointing there wasn't a lot of Seth Rollins, considering he was the number one guy. But I guarantee you next week on Raw, you're going to be seeing and hearing a whole lot of Seth Rollins. So, we know what's going to happen now with the championship. Roman Reigns, on the other hand, I have no idea what we're going to do with him now. Because you figured, he was probably going to be in the championship hunt. But now they're finally getting him out of there. Finally maybe getting him out of there. Finally for the first time in forever. I mean, the whole year the guys either had the belt or chasing the belt. Time for Roman to step back a little bit. Get in a feud with somebody. I don't know what he's going to do. But we'll find out next week. So, that was Raw last night, guys. 10 out of 10 easily. Best Raw I've seen in forever. I'm excited for SmackDown tonight. And I will say SmackDown is going to have to step up their game, because holy balls, that was a ride last night. Classic matches all around. I mean, Women's Championship, Fatal 4-Ways, Balor. I mean, wow. So, my question is, who was your MVP then last night? Do you give it to Sasha Banks for winning the Women's Championship, or do you give it to Finn Balor for getting 2 wins in his Raw debut and getting a number 1 contender match at SummerSlam? There's a split crowd here, I think. I personally am going to say Sasha Banks MVP for Raw. Only because she won the gold. She finally beat her nemesis, Charlotte, on the main roster, mind you, because she also beat her NXT for the NXT Women's Championship, but she got the title. Finn, awesome big wins on Raw last night. Nothing taken away from him, but he doesn't have a championship yet. He still has a major hurdle in Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. So, your challenge is there, Finn. I wish you good luck. I'm hoping for an incredible match between you and Rollins. Anyways, guys, I'm going to cut it here. Great Raw. Phenomenal Raw. I'm looking forward to SmackDown. Follow me on Twitter at Chairman Podcast. I try to live tweet as many shows as I can. Obviously, real life will get in the way now and then where I can't, but I would definitely want to get in the action and talk about it with you guys. So, thanks for checking out the Chairman's Wrestling Podcast, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.